left him.
Oh, the victory is twice itself when the achiever brings home full numbers. I find here that Don Pedro hath bestowed much honor on a young Florentine called Claudio.
Much deserved on his part, and equally remembered by Don Pedro. He had borne himself beyond the promise of his age, doing in the figure of a lamb the feats of a lion. He hath indeed better at expectation than you must expect of me to tell you how.
I pray you, is Signor Montanto returned from the wars, or no?
I know none of that name, lady. There was none such in the army of any sort.
What is he that you ask after, niece?
My cousin means Signor Benedict of Padua.
Oh, he's returned, and as pleasant as ever he was.
I pray you, how many hath he killed and eaten in these wars? But how many hath he killed? For indeed, I promise to eat all of his killing.
Faith, niece, you tax Signor Benedict too much. But he'll be meat with you, I doubt it not.
He hath done good service, lady, in these wars.
You had musty victual, and he hath holp to eat it. He is a very valiant trencherman. He hath an excellent stomach.
And a good soldier too, lady.
And a good soldier to a lady. But what is he to a lord?
A lord to a lord, a man to a man, stuffed with all honorable virtues.
It is so indeed. He is no less than a stuffed man. But for the stuffing, well, we all are mortal.
You must not mistake my niece, sir. There's a kind of merry war betwixt her and Signor Benedict. They never meet, but there's a kind of skirmish of wit between them.
Alas, he gets nothing by that. In our last conflict, 4 of his 5 wits went halting off, and now is the whole man governed with 1. So that if he have wit enough to keep himself warm, let him bear it for a difference between himself and his horse. For it is all the wealth that he hath left to be known a reasonable creature. Well, who is his companion now? He hath every month a new sworn brother.
Is it possible?
Very easily possible. He wears his faith, but as the fashion of his hat, it ever changes with the next block.
I see, lady. The gentleman is not in your books.
No. And he were, I would burn my study. But I pray you, who is his companion? Is there no young squarer now that will make a voyage with him to the devil?
He's most in the company of the right noble Claudio.
Oh, Lord, he will hang upon him like a disease. He is sooner caught than the pestilence, and the taker runs presently mad. Oh, God, help the noble Claudio. If he have caught the Benedict, it will cost him £1,000 ere be cured.
I will hold friends with you, lady.
Do, good friend.
You'll never run mad, niece.
No, not till a hot January.
Don Pedro is approached.
Good, Signor Leonato. Are you come to meet your trouble? The fashion of the world is to avoid cost, and you encounter it.
Never came trouble to my house in the likeness of your grace. For trouble being gone, comfort should remain. But when you depart from me, sorrow abides, and happiness takes his leave.
You embrace your charge too willingly. I think this is your daughter.
Her mother hath many times told me so.
Were you in doubt, sir, that you asked her?
Signor Benedict! No, for then you were but a child.
You have it full, Benedict. We may guess by this what you are, being a man. Truly, the lady fathers herself. Be happy, lady, for you are like an honorable father.
If Signor Leonato be her father, she would not have his head on her shoulders, for all Messina is like him as she was.
I wonder that you will still be talking, Signor Benedict. Nobody marks you.
What, my dear Lady Disdain, are you yet living?
Is it possible Disdain should die while she hath such meat food to meet it as Signor Benedict? Courtesy itself must convert to disdain if you come in her presence.
Then is courtesy a turncoat. But it is certain that I am loved of all ladies, only you excepted. And I would I could find in my heart that I had not a hard heart, for truly I love none.
A dear happiness to women. They would else have been troubled with a pernicious suitor. I thank God, in my cold blood, I am of your humor for that. I had rather hear my dog bark at a crow than a man swear that he loves me.
Well, God keep your ladyship still in that mind, so some gentleman or other shall scape a predestinate scratched face.
Scratching could not make it worse than 'twere such a face as yours were.
Well, you are a rare parrot teacher.
A bird of my tongue is better than a beast of yours.
No, my horse had the speed of your tongue, and so good a continuer. But keep your way, in God's name I have done.
Oh, you always end with a jade's trick. I know you of old.
That is the sum of all, Leonato. Signor Claudio and Signor Benedict, my dear friend Leonato hath invited you all. I tell him we shall stay here at the least a month, and he heartily prays some occasion may detain us longer. I dare swear he is no hypocrite, but prays from his heart.
If you swear, my lord, you shall not be forsworn. Let me bid you welcome, my lord. Being reconciled to the prince, your brother, I owe you all duty.
I thank you. I am not of many words, but I thank you.
Please, your grace, lead on.
Your hand, Leonato, we will go together.
Benedict, didst thou note the daughter of Cillian?
I noted her not, but looked on her.
Is she not a modest young lady?
Do you question me as an honest man should do for my simple true judgment? Or would you have me speak after my custom as being a professed tyrant to their sex?
No, I pray thee, speak in sober judgment.
Why? In faith, methinks she's too low for a high praise, and too little for a great praise. Only this commendation can I afford her, that were she other but as she is, I do not like her.
Thou thinkest I am in sport. I pray thee, tell me truly how thou likest her.
Did you buy her that you inquire after her?
Can the world buy such a jewel?
Ha! Yea! And a case to put it into. Oh, come. Speak you this with a sad brow. Come, what key shall I take to put you in the song?
Mine eye, she is the sweetest lady that ever I looked on.
Oh, I can see yet without spectacles, and I see no such matter. Not as her cousin, were she not possessed with a fury, it exceeds her much in beauty as the 1st of May doth the last of December. But I hope you have no intent of turning husband, have you?
I would scarce trust myself, though I had sworn the contrary, if Hero would be my wife.
Has it come to this? Oh, hath the world not but one man that shall wear his cap with suspicion? Shall I never see a bachelor of 80 again? Go to in faith. Thou needs thrust thy neck into a yoke, wear the print of it, and sigh away Sundays. Look, Don Pedro has returned to seek you.
What secret hath held you here that you followed not to Leonato's?
I would your grace would constrain me to tell.
I charge thee on thy allegiance.
Oh, you hear, Count Claudio? I can be as secret as a dumb man, I would have you think so, but on my allegiance, oh. Mark you this, on my allegiance is in love. With who? Now that is your grace's part. Mark how short his answer is. With Hero, Leonato's short daughter.
God forbid it should be otherwise.
Amen, if you love her, for the lady is very well worthy.
You speak this to fetch me in, my lord.
By my troth, I speak my thought.
And in my faith, my lord, I spoke mine.
And by my 2 faiths and troths, my lord, I spoke mine.
I love her. I feel.
That she is worthy, I know.
That I neither feel how she should be loved, nor know how she should be worthy, is the opinion that fire cannot melt out of me. I will die in it at the stake.
Thou wast ever an obstinate heretic in the despite of beauty.
Man never could maintain his part but in the force of his will.
That a woman conceived me, I thank her. That she brought me out, likewise give her most humble thanks. But that I will have a reed sheet winded in my forehead or hang my bugle in an invisible baldric, all women shall pardon me. Because I will not do them the wrong to mistrust any. I will do myself the right to trust none. And the fine is, for which I may go the finer. I will live a bachelor.
I shall see thee ere I die, look pale with love.
No, with anger, with sickness, or with hunger, my lord, not with love. Prove that I ever lose more blood with love than I get again with drinking. Pluck out mine eyes with a ballad maker's pen. And hang me up on the side of a brothel for the sign of blind Cupid.
Well, as time shall try, in time the savage bull doth bear the yoke.
The savage bull may, but if ever the sensible Benedict bear it, pluck off the bull's horns and set them firmly in my forehead, and let them signify with vilely painted letters, under here you may see, here's good horse to hire. Let them signify under my sign. Here you may see Benedict, the married man.
If this had ever happened, thou wouldst be horn mad.
Nay, if Cupid have not spent all his quiver in Venice, thou wilt quake for this shortly.
I will look for an earthquake too then. And so I leave you.
Commend me to Leonato, and tell him I will not fail him at supper, for indeed he hath made great preparation.
My liege, your highness may now do me good.
My love is thine to teach. Teach it but how, and thou shalt see how apt it is to learn any hard lesson that may do thee good. Dost thou affect her, Claudio?
Oh my lord, when you went onward on this ended action, I looked upon her with a soldier's eye. That liked, but had a rougher task in hand than to drive liking to the name of love. But now I am returned. Those war thoughts are left, all prompting me how fair young hero is.
If thou dost love fair hero, cherish it. And I will break with her and with her father, and thou shalt have her. Was not to this end that thou beganst to twist so fine a story?
How sweetly you do minister to love, that no loves grief by his complexion.
And I will fit thee with the remedy. I know we shall have reveling tonight. I will assume thy part in some disguise, and tell fair hero that I am Claudio, and in her bosom I'll unclasp my heart and take her hearing prisoner with the force and strong encounter of my amorous tale. Then, after, to her father will I break, and the conclusion is, she shall be thine. In practice, let us put it presently.
How now, daughter, where's the rest of our company?
They are very busy about. But father, I can tell you strange news that I dreamt not of.
Are they good?
The prince and Count Claudio, walking in a thick-pleached alley in the orchard, were thus much overheard. The prince discovered from Claudio that he loved me and means to acknowledge it this night in a dance. And if he found me accordant, he means to take the present time by the top and instantly break with you of it.
We will hold it as a dream till it appear itself. But I will advise you that you may be better prepared for an answer if peradventure this be true.
Go in with me and I will use your skill.
Act 1, Scene 2. Inside Leonato's house, we find Don John the Bastard, clearly not the villain of the play, lamenting over his status as a captured war prisoner, to the only person who will listen, his comrade named Conrad.
What the good here, my lord? Why are you thus out of measure sad?
There is no measure in the occasion that breeds, therefore the sadness is without limit.
You should hear reason.
I wonder that thou goest about to apply a moral medicine to a mortifying mischief. Cannot hide what I am, must be sad when I have cause, and smile at no man's jests. Eat when I have stomach, laugh when I am merry, and claw no man in his humor.
Hey, but you must not make full show of this till you may do it without controlment. You have of late stood out against your brother, and he hath taken you newly into his grace, where it is impossible you should take true root but by the fair weather which you make yourself.
I had rather be a canker in a hedge than a rose in his grace. It must not be denied that I am a plain dealing villain. I'm entrusted with a muzzle and enfranchised with a clog. Therefore I have decreed not to sing in my cage. Oh, if I had my mouth, I would bite. If I had my liberty, I would do my liking. In the meantime, let me be that I am, and seek not to alter me. Who comes here? What news, Baraccio?
The prince, your brother, is royally entertained by Leonato, and I can give you intelligence of an intended marriage.
Will it serve for any model to build mischief on? What is he for a fool that betroths himself to unquietness?
Harry, it is your brother's right hand.
Who? The most exquisite Claudio.
Even he.
The proper squire. And who? And who? Which way looks he?
Marry, on Hero, the daughter and heir of Leonato.
A very forward march chick. How came you to this?
Being entertained for a perfumer as I was smoking a musty room, comes me the prince and Claudio hand in hand in sad conference. I there heard it agreed upon that the prince should woo Hero for himself, and having obtained her, give her to Count Claudio.
Come, let us thither. This may prove food to my displeasure. If I can cross him any way, I bless myself in every way. Your bonjour and will assist me.
To the death, my lord.
We wait upon your lordship.
Later that night, in Act 2, Scene 1, we find a mask ball being set up by the servants Ursula and Margaret. The decorations are lavish and tremendously expensive, and the music playing must cost a fortune in copyright. And I'm not just saying that because it's a Zoom production. Soon, Leonato, as well as his daughter Hero and his niece Beatrice, enter, drinks in hands, gossiping after their dinner.
Oh, it's not Count John here at supper.
I saw not.
Ugh, how tartly that gentleman looks. I never can see him, but I am heartburned an hour after.
He is of a very melancholy disposition.
He were an excellent man that were made just in the midway between him and Benedick. The one is too like an image and says nothing. The other too like my lady's eldest son, evermore tattling.
Oh, then half Signor Benedict's tongue in Count John's mouth, and half Count John's melancholy in Signor Benedict's face.
With a good leg and a good foot, uncle, and money enough in his purse, such a man would win any woman in the world, if he could get her goodwill.
By my troth, cuz thou wilt never get thee a husband, if thou be so shrewd of thy tongue.
That's what you always say, isn't it, Hero?
And fate, he's too cursed.
Too cursed is more than cursed. I shall lessen God's sending that way, for it is said, God sends a cursed cow short horns. But to a cow too cursed, he sends none.
So by being too cursed, God will send you no horns.
Just if he sends me no husband. For the which blessing, I am at him upon my knees every morning and evening. Lord, I could not endure a husband with a beard on his face. I had rather lie in the woolen.
You may light on a husband that hath no beard.
What should I do with him? Dress him in my apparel and make him my waiting gentlewoman? He that hath a beard is more than a youth, and he that hath no beard is less than a man, and he that is more than a youth is not for me, and he that is less than a man, I am not for him. Therefore, I will even take 6 of earnest of a bare word and lead his apes into hell.
Well, then go you into hell.
Oh, but to the gate, and there will the devil meet me, like an old cuckold with horns on his head, and say, Get you to heaven, Beatrice, get you to heaven. Here's no place for you maids. So, deliver I up my apes, and away to St. Peter for the heavens. Oh, he shows me where the bachelors sit, and there live we as merry as the day is long.
Well, cuz, I hope to see you one day fitted with a husband.
Not till God make men of some other metal than earth. Would it not grieve a woman to be overmastered with a piece of valiant dust? To make an account of her life to a clod of wayward moral? No, cuz I'll none. Adam's sons are my brethren, and truly, I hold it a sin to match in my kindred.
Daughter, you remember what I told you. If the prince do solicit you in that kind, you know your answer.
The fault will be in the music, cousin, if you be not wooed in time. If the prince be too important, tell him there is measure in everything. And so dance out the answer. For hear me, hero. Wooing, wedding, and repenting is as a Scotch jig measure and a sync pace. The first suit is hot and hasty, like a Scotch jig, and full is fantastical. The wedding, mannerly modest, as a measure full of state and ancientry. And then comes repentance, and with his bad legs falls into the sync pace, faster and faster till he sinks into his grave.
Cousin, you apprehend passing shrewdly.
I have a good eye, uncle. I can see a church by daylight.
The revelers are entering.
Ho, ho! Make good room, cousins. You know what you have to do. I cry you mercy, friend. Good cousins, take care this busy time.
Lady, will you walk about with your friend?
So you walk softly and look sweetly and say nothing. I'm yours for the walk, and especially when I walk away.
Oh, with me in your company?
I may say so when I please.
And when please you say so?
When I like your favor, for God defend the lute should be like the case.
My visor is Philemon's roof. Within the house is Jove.
Why then your visor should be thatched?
Speak low, if you speak of love.
Well, I would you did like me.
So was not I, for your own sake, for I have many ill qualities.
Which is one?
I say my prayers aloud.
Oh, I love you the better. The hearers may cry amen.
God match me with a good dancer.
Amen.
May God keep him out of my sight when the dance is done. Answer, clerk.
No more words. The clerk is answered.
I know you well enough. You're Signor Leonardo.
At a word, I am not.
I know you by the waggling of your head.
Oh, to tell you true, I counterfeit him.
You can never do him so well unless you are the very man. You're he.
Nine. Oh, at a word, I am not.
Come. Do you think I do not know you by your excellent wit? Can virtue hide itself? Go to mum, you're he. Graces will appear and there's an end.
Will you not tell me who told you so?
No, you shall pardon me.
Nor will you not tell me who you are?
Not now.
That I was disdainful and that I had my good wit out of the 100 merry tales? Well, this was Signor Benedict that said so.
What's he?
I am sure you know him well enough.
Not I, believe me.
Did he never make you laugh?
I pray you, what is he?
Why, he's the prince's jester. A very dull fool. Only his gift is in devising impossible slanders. None but libertines delight in him, and the commendation is not in his wit, but in his villainy. For he both pleases men and angers them, and then they laugh at him and beat him. I am sure he is in the fleet. Oh, when he had boarded me.
When I know the gentleman, I'll tell him what you say.
Do. He'll but break a comparison or two on me, which, peradventure not marked, or not laughed at, strikes him into melancholy. And then there's a partridge wing saved, for the fool will eat no supper that night. Oh, we must follow the leaders.
In every good thing.
Nay, if they lead to any ill will, I will leave them at the next turning.
Sure, my brother is amorous on Hero, and hath withdrawn her father to break with him about it. The ladies follow her, and but one visor remains.
And that is Claudio. I know him by his bearing.
Are not you Signor Benedict?
You know me well. I am he.
Signor, you're very near in my brother in his love. He is enamored on Hero. I pray you dissuade him from her. She's no equal for his birth. You may do the part of an honest man in it.
How know you he loves her?
I heard him swear his affection.
So did I.
So did I, too. And he swore he would marry her tonight.
Come, let us to the banquet.
Thus answer I in name of Benedict, but hear these ill news with the ears of Claudio. 'Tis certain so, the prince woos for himself. Friendship is constant in all other things, save in the office and affairs of love. Therefore, all hearts in love use their own tongues. Let every eye negotiate for itself, and trust no agent, for beauty is a witch, against whose charms faith melteth into blood. This is an accident of hourly proof, which I mistrusted not. Farewell, therefore, Hero.
Come, Claudio.
Yea, the same.
Come, will you go with me?
Whither?
Even to the next willow, about your own business, County. What fashion will you wear your garland of? About your neck, like an Ursa's chain, or under your arm, like a lieutenant's scarf? You must wear it one way, for the prince hath got you your hero.
I wish him joy of her.
Why, did you think the prince would have served you thus?
I pray you leave me.
Oh, now you strike like the blind man. 'Twas the boy that stole your meat, and you'll beat the post.
Will not be, I'll leave you.
Alas, poor hurt fowl. Now will he creep into sidges. But that my lady Beatrice should know me and not know me. Princess Fool. Maybe I go under that title because I am merry. Yea, but I am so apt to do myself wrong. I am not so reputed. It is the base, though bitter disposition of Beatrice that puts the world into her person and so gives me out. Well, I'll be revenged as I may.
No, Signor. Where's the Count? Did you see him?
Troth, my lord, I found him here as melancholy as a lodge in a warren. I told him, and I think I told him true, that your grace had got the goodwill of this young lady here. And I offered him my company to a willow tree to make him a garland as worthy of being forsaken, or to bind him up a rod as worthy of being whipped.
To be whipped? What's his fault?
The flat transgression of a schoolboy who, being overjoyed with finding a bird's nest, shows it as a companion, and he steals it.
Wilt thou make a trust a transgression? The transgression is in the stealer.
Yet it had not been amiss that the rod had been made, and the garland too, for the garland he might have worn himself, and the rod he might have bestowed on you, who, as I take it, have stolen his bird's nest.
I will but teach them to sing and restore them to the owner. Ah, the Lady Beatrice hath a quarrel to you. The gentleman that danced with her told her she is much wronged by you.
Oh, she misused me. Past the endurance of a block. An oak, but with one green leaf on it, would have answered her. My very visor began to assume life and scold with her. She told me, not thinking I had been myself, that I was the prince's jester, that I was duller than a great thaw, huddling jest upon jest with such impossible conveyance upon me, that I stood like a man at a mark, with the whole army shooting at me. She speaks poniards, and every word stabs. If her breath was as terrible as her terminations, there'd be no living near her. She'd infected the North Star. I would to God some scholar would conjure her, for certainly while she is here, a man may live as quiet as in hell as in a sanctuary, and people sin upon purpose because they would go thither.
Oh, Benedict.
So indeed, all disquiet, horror, and perturbation follow her.
Look, here she comes.
Will your grace command me any service to the world's end? I will go on the slightest errand now to the Antipodes rather than hold 3 words conference with this harpy. You have no employment for me?
None, but to desire your good company.
Oh God, sir, here's a dish I love not. I cannot endure my lady tongue.
Oh, Ben. Come, lady, come. You have lost the heart of Signor Benedict.
Indeed, my lord. He lent it me a while, and I gave him use for it. A double heart for his single one. Mary, once before he wedded of me with false dice. Therefore, your grace may well say I have lost.
You have put him down, lady. You have put him down.
So I would not he should do me, my lord, lest I should prove the mother of fools. I have brought Count Claudio, whom you sent me to see.
Why, how now, Count? Wherefore are you sad?
Not sad, my lord.
How then? Sick?
Sure, my lord.
The Count is neither sad, nor sick, nor married, nor well, but civil, Count, civil as an orange, and something of that jealous complexion.
In faith, lady, I think your blazon to be true, though I'll be sworn if he be so, his conceit is false. Here, Claudio, I have wooed in thy name, and fair hero is won. I have broke with her father, and his goodwill obtained. Name the day of marriage, and God give thee joy.
Count, taketh me my daughter, and with her my fortunes. His grace hath made the match, and all grace say unto it, Amen.
Amen.
Amen! Speak, Count, 'tis your cue.
Silence is the perfectest herald of joy. I were but little happy if I could say how much. Lady, as you are mine, I am yours. I give away myself for you and dote upon the exchange.
Speak, cousin, or if you cannot stop his mouth with a kiss, and let him not speak neither.
In faith, lady, you have a merry heart.
Oh, yes, my lord. I thank it, poor fool. It keeps on the windy side of care. My cousin tells him in his ear that he is in her heart.
And so she doth, cousin.
Good Lord for alliance! Thus goes everyone to the world, and I am sunburnt. I may sit in a corner and cry, hey-ho, for a husband.
Will you have me, lady?
No, my lord. Unless I might have another for working days. Your grace is too costly to wear every day. But I beseech your grace, pardon me, I was born to speak mirth, and all mirth, no matter.
Your silence most offends me, and to be merry best becomes you, for out of question you were born in a merry hour.
No. Sure, my lord, my mother cried. But then there was a star danced, and under that I was born. Cousins, God give thee joy.
Niece, will you look to those things I told you of?
I cry you mercy, uncle. By your grace's pardon.
By my troth, a pleasant-spirited lady.
There's little of the melancholy element in her, my lord. She is never sad but when she sleeps, and not ever sad then. For I have heard her often dream of unhappiness and wake herself with laughing.
She cannot endure to hear tell of a husband.
Oh, by no means she mocks all her wooers out of suit.
She were an excellent wife for Benedick.
Oh, Lord, my Lord, if they were but a week married, they would talk themselves mad.
County Claudio, when mean you to go to church?
Tomorrow, my lord. Time goes on crutches till love have all rights.
Not till Monday, my dear son, which is hence just a sennight and a time to breathe, too, to have all things answer my mind.
Come, you shake the head at so long a breathing, but I warrant thee, Claudio, the time shall not go dully by us. I will, in the interim, undertake one of Hercules' labors, which is to bring Signor Benedick and the Lady Beatrice into a mountain of affection, the one with the other. I would plain have it a match, and I doubt not but to fashion it, if you three will but minister such assistance as I shall give you direction.
My lord, I am for you, though it cost me 10 nights' watchings.
And I, my lord.
And you too, gentle hero?
I will do any modest office, my lord, to help my cousin to a good husband.
And Benedick is not the unhopefullest husband that I know. Thus far can I praise him. He is of a noble strain, of approved valor and confirmed honesty. I will teach you how to humor your cousin, that she shall fall in love with Benedick. And I, with your two helps, will so practice on Benedick that in despite of his quick wit and his queasy stomach, he shall fall in love with Beatrice. If we can do this, Cupid is no longer an archer. His glory shall be ours, for we are the only love gods. Oh, go in with me, and I will tell you my drift.
With an evil plot overthrown, a wedding day planned, and Benedick and Beatrice plotted against, we move to the next morning in Act 2, Scene 2, where we find Don John, the bastard, lashing out at Baraccio over the failure of the evil plot.
It is so. The Count Claudio shall marry the daughter of Leonato.
Yea, my lord, but I can cross it.
Any bar, any cross it, any impediment will be medicinable to me. How canst thou cross this marriage?
Not honestly, my lord, but so covertly that no dishonesty shall appear in me.
Show me briefly how.
I think I told your lordship a year since how much I am in the favor of Margaret, the waiting gentlewoman to Hero.
I remember.
I can, at any unseasonable instant of the night, appoint her to look out at her lady's chamber window.
What life is in that to be the death of this marriage?
The poison of that lies in you to temper. Go you to the prince your brother, spare not to tell him that he hath wronged his honor in marrying the renowned Claudio, whose estimation you do mightily hold up, to a contaminated stale, such a one as Hero.
What proof shall I make of that?
Proof enough to misuse the prince, to vex Claudio, to undo Hero, and to kill Leonato. Tell them that you know that Hero loves me. Offer them instances which shall bear no less likelihood than to see me at her chamber window. Hear me call Margaret Hero, and hear Margaret call me Claudio. And bring them to see this the very night of the intended wedding. And there shall appear such seeming truth of Hero's disloyalty, that jealousy shall be called assurance, and all the preparation overthrown.
Grow this to what adverse issue it can. I will put it in practice. Be cunning in the workingness, and thy fee is 1,000 ducats.
Be you constant in the accusation, and my cunning shall not shame me.
I will presently go learn their day of marriage.
With the new evil plot put into play, we completely ignore it in Act 2, Scene 3, in an orchard of Leonato's, where we find Benedick walking through the orchard, talking to himself. which is something that completely normal people do.
I do much wonder that one man, seeing how much another man is a fool when he dedicates his behaviors to love, will, after he hath laughed at such shallow follies in others, become the argument of his own scorn by falling in love. And such a man as Claudio, I have known when there was no music in him but the drum and the fife. And now, had he rather hear the tabor and the pipe, I would have known when he would have walked 10 miles afoot to see a good armor. And now he had rather lie 10 nights awake, carving the fashion of a new doublet. He was wont to speak plain and to the purpose, like an honest man and a soldier. And now as he turned orthography, his words are a very fantastical banquet, just so many strange dishes. May I be so converted and see with these eyes? I cannot tell. I think not. I will not be sworn, but love may transform me to an oyster. Ye shall never make me such a fool. One woman is fair, yet I am well. Another wise, yet I am well. Another virtuous, and yet I am well. But till all graces be in one woman shall not come within my grace. Rich she shall be, that's certain. Wise, or I'll none. Virtuous, or I'll never cheapen her. Fair, or I'll never look on her. Mild, or come not near me. Noble, or not I for an angel. Of good discourse, an excellent musician, and her hair be of whatever color pleases God. Ha! The prince and Monsieur Love. I will hide me in the arbor.
Yea, my good lord, how still the evening is, as hushed on purpose to grace harmony.
See you where Benedict hath hid himself.
Come hither, Leonato. What was it you told me of today? That your niece Beatrice was in love with Signor Benedict?
What?
Oh, I stuck on the foul sits. I did never think that lady would have loved any man.
No, nor I neither. But most wonderful that she should so dote on Signor Benedict, whom she hath in all outward behavior seemed ever to abhor.
Is it possible? Sits the wind in that corner?
Troth, my lord, I cannot tell what to think of it, but that she loves him with an enraged affection. It is past the infinite of thought.
Maybe she doth but counterfeit.
Faith, like enough.
Now, there was a passion came so near the life of passion as she did.
Why? What effects of passion shows she?
Bait the hook well, this fish will bite.
What effects, my lords? Well, she will sit you. Well, you, I want to tell you how it sits.
She did indeed.
How? How, I pray you? You amaze me.
What?
I would have thought her spirit had been invincible against all assaults of affection.
I would have sworn it had, my lord, especially against Benedict.
I should think this a gull, but the white-bearded fellow speaks it. Knavery cannot sure hide himself in such reverence.
he hath been the affection, hold it up.
Hath she made her affection known to Benedick?
No, and swears she never will. That's her torment.
Oh, 'tis true indeed, so your daughter says. Shall I, says she, that have so often countered him with scorn, write to him that I love him?
This she says now when she's beginning to write to him. For she'll be up 20 times a night, and there will she sit in her smock till she have writ a sheet of paper. My daughter tells us all.
Now you talk of a sheet of paper. I remember a pretty jest your daughter told us of.
Oh, when she had writ it and was reading it over, she found Benedict and Beatrice between the sheets. Oh, she tore that letter into 1,000 halfpence, railed at herself that she should be so immodest to write to one that she knew would flout her. Measure him, says she, by my own spirit, for I should flout him if he writ me. Yea, though I love him, I should.
Then, down upon her knees she falls, weeps, sobs, beats her heart, tears her hair, prays, curses. Oh, sweet Benedick, God give me patience.
She doth indeed, my daughter says so, and the ecstasy has so much overborne her that my daughter is sometimes afeard she will do a desperate outrage to herself. It's all very true.
Oh, it were good that Benedick knew of it by some other, if she will not discover it.
To what end? He would make but a sport of it and torment the poor lady worse.
And he should. It were an alms to hang him. She is an excellent, sweet lady, and out of all suspicion, she is virtuous.
And she is exceeding wise.
In everything, but in loving Benedick.
Hero thinks she will die, for she says she will die if he love her not, and she will die ere she make her love known. And she will die if he woo her, rather than she will bate one breath of her accustomed crossness.
She doth well. If she should make tender of her love, 'tis very possible he'll scorn it. For the man, as you know all, hath a contemptible spirit.
Very proper man.
He hath indeed a good outward happiness.
Before God, and in my mind, very wise.
He doth indeed show some sparks that are like wit.
And I take him to be valiant.
As Hector, I assure you. And in the managing of quarrels, you may say he is wise, for either he avoids them with great discretion, or undertakes them with a most Christian-like fear. Well, I am sorry for your niece. Shall we go seek Benedick and tell him of her love?
Never tell him, my lord. Let her wear it out with good counsel.
Nay, that's impossible. She may wear her heart out first.
Oh, well, we will hear further of it by your daughter. Let it cool the while. I love Benedick well, and I could wish he would modestly examine himself to see how much he is unworthy so good a lady.
My lord, will you walk? Dinner is ready.
If he do not dote on her upon this, I will never trust my expectation.
Let there be the same net spread for her, and that must your daughter and her gentlewoman carry.
Let us send her to call him to dinner.
This can be no trick. The conference was sadly born. They have the truth of this from Hero. They seem to pity the lady. seems her affections have the full bent. Love me. Why, it must be requited. Now, I hear how I am censured. They say that I will bear myself proudly if I perceive the love come from her. They say, too, that she should rather die than show any signs of affection. I did never think to marry. I must not seem proud. Happy are they that can hear their detractions and can put them to mending. Oh, they say the lady is wise. Oh, 'tis a truth I can bear them witness, and virtuous. Oh, 'tis so I cannot reprove it. And wise, but for everything but for loving me. By my troth, it is no great addition to her wit, nor no great argument of her folly, for I will be horribly in love with her. I may have some odd quirks and remnants of wit broken on me because I have railed so long against marriage. But doth not the appetite alter? A man loves the meat in his youth he cannot endure in his age. Shall quips and sentences and the paper bullets of the brain awe a man from the career of his humor? No, the world must be peopled. When I said I would die a bachelor, I did never think to live till I were married. Here comes Beatrice. By this day she's a fair lady. I do spy some marks of love in her.
Against my will, I am sent to bid you come in to dinner.
Fair Beatrice, I thank you for thy pains.
I took no more pains for those thanks than you take pains to thank me. If it had been painful, I would not have come.
You take pleasure then in the message?
Yeah? Just so much as you may take upon a knife's point and choke a doll withal. You have no stomach, senor? Fare you well.
Against my will, I am sent to bid you come in to dinner. There's a double meaning in that. I took no more pains for those thanks that you took pains to thank me. Well, that's as easy to say that any pains I take for you is as easy as thanks. If I do not take pity on her, I am a villain. If I do not love her, I am a fool.
With Benedict successfully bamboozled, we move into Act 3, Scene 1, also set in the orchard, where we find Hero along with her two gentlewomen, Ursula and Margaret, and in their sights, Beatrice.
Good Margaret, run thee to the parlor. There shalt thou find my cousin Beatrice proposing with the prince and Claudio. Whisper her ear and tell her I and Ursula walk in the orchard, and our whole discourse is nothing but of her. This is thy office. Bear thee well in it, and leave us alone.
I will make her come, I warrant you, presently.
Now, Ursula, when Beatrice doth come, as we do trace this alley up and down, our talk must only be of Benedict. When I do name him, let it by thy part to praise him more than ever man did merit. My talk to thee must be how Benedict is sick in love with Beatrice. Of this matter is little Cupid's crafty arrow made that only wounds by hearsay. Now begin. Then go we near her, that her ear lose nothing of the false sweet bait that we lay for it. No, truly, Ursula, she is too disdainful. I know her spirits are as coy and wild as haggards of the rock.
But are you sure that Benedict loves Beatrice so entirely? What?
So says the prince and my new trothed lord.
Did they bid you to tell her of it, madam?
They did entreat me to acquaint her of it, but I persuaded them, if they loved Benedict, to wish him wrestle with affection and never to let Beatrice know of it.
Why did you so? Doth not the gentleman deserve as full as fortunate a bed as ever Beatrice shall couch upon?
Oh, God of love! I know he doth deserve as much as may be yielded to a man. But nature never framed a woman's heart of prouder stuff than that of Beatrice. Disdain and scorn ride sparkling in her eyes, misprizing what they look on, and her wit values itself so highly that to her all matter else seems weak. She cannot love, nor take no shape, nor project of affection. She is so self-endeared.
Sure, I think so, and therefore certainly we're not good she knew his love, lest she'll make sport at it.
Why, you speak truth. I never yet saw man. How wise, how noble, young, how rarely featured. But she would spell him backward. If fair-faced, she would swear the gentleman should be her sister. If low, an agate very vilely cut. If speaking, why, a vein blown with all winds. If silent, why, a block moved with none. So turns she every man the wrong side out.
Okay, come on.
And never gives to truth and virtue that which simpleness and merit purchaseth.
Sure, such carping is not commendable.
But who dare tell her so? If I should speak, she would mock me into air. Oh, she would laugh me out of myself, press me to death with wit. Therefore let Benedick, like covered fire, consume away in sighs, waste inwardly. It were a better death than die with mocks, which is as bad as die with tickling.
Yet tell her of it, hear what she'll say.
No, rather, I will go to Benedick and counsel him to fight against his passion. And truly I'll devise some honest slanders to stain my cousin with. One doth not know how much an ill word may empoison liking.
Oh, do not do your cousin such a wrong. She cannot be so much without true judgment, having so swift and excellent a wit as she is prized to have, as to refuse so rare a gentleman as Signor Benedick.
He is the only man of Italy. Always accepted my dear Claudio.
I pray you be not angry with me, madam, speaking my fancy. Signor Benedick, for shape, for bearing, argument, and valor, goes foremost in report through Italy.
Indeed, he hath an excellent good name.
His excellent did earn it ere he had it. When are you married, madam?
Why, every day. Tomorrow. Come, go in. I'll show thee some attires and have thy counsel, which is the best to furnish me tomorrow.
She's limed, I warrant you. We have got her, madam.
If it prove so, that loving goes by haps. Some Cupid kills with arrows, some with traps.
What fire is mine ears? Can this be true? Stand I condemned for pride and scorn so much? Contempt, farewell, and maiden pride, adieu. No glory lives behind the back of such. And Benedick, love on. I will requite thee, taming my wild heart to thy loving hand. If thou dost love, my kindness shall incite thee to bind our loves up in a holy band. For others say thou dost deserve, and I believe it better than reportingly.
With Operation Merry Matchmaking accomplished, we move forward in time to one day before the wedding in Act 3, Scene 2, where we find Don Pedro, Claudio, and Leonato gently teasing Benedick over his newfound affections. All is well, everyone is happy, and no evil could possibly be lurking on the horizon.
I do but stay till your marriage be consummate, and then go I toward Aragon.
I'll bring you thither, my lord, if you'll vouchsafe me.
Nay, that would be as great a soil in the new gloss of your marriage as to show a child his new coat and forbid him to wear it. I will only be bold with Benedick for his company, for from the crown of his head to the sole of his foot he is all mirth. He hath twice or thrice cut Cupid's bowstrings, and the little hangman dare not shoot him. He hath a heart as sound as a bell, and his tongue is the clapper. For what his heart thinks, his tongue speaks.
Gallants, I am not as I have been.
So say I. Methinks you were sadder.
I hope he be in love.
Hang him, truant! There's no true drop of blood in him to be truly touched with love. If he be sad, he wants money.
I have the toothache.
Draw it.
Hang it.
Hang it first and draw it afterwards.
What? Sigh for a toothache?
Well, everyone can master a grief, but he that has it.
Yet say I, he is in love.
There is no appearance of fancy in him, unless it be a fancy that he hath to strange disguises, as to be a Dutchman today, a Frenchman tomorrow, unless he have a fancy to this foolery, as it appears he hath. He is no fool for fancy, as you would have it appear he is.
That's as much to say the sweet youth's in love.
The greatest note of it is his melancholy.
Nay, but his jesting spirit, which is now crept into a lute-stringed and now governed by stops.
Indeed, that tells a heavy tale for him. Conclude. He is in love.
Nay, but I know who loves him.
That would I know too. I warrant one that knows him not.
And his ill conditions, and in despite of all, dies for him.
She shall be buried with her face upwards.
Yet is this no charm for the toothache? Old Signor, walk aside with me. I have studied 8 or 9 wise words to speak to you, which these hobby horses must not hear.
For my life, to break with him about Beatrice.
Even so, hero, their hearts with Beatrice.
My lord and brother, God save you.
Oh, goodeen, brother.
If your leisure served, I would speak with you.
In private.
If it please you, yet Count Claudio may hear, for what I would speak of concerns him.
What's the matter?
Means your lordship to be married tomorrow.
You know he does.
I know not that when he knows what I know.
If there be any impediment, I discover it.
You may think I love you not. Let that appear hereafter and aim better at me, by that I now will manifest.
Why, what's the matter?
I came hither to tell you, and circumstances shortened, for she has been too long a talking of. The lady is disloyal.
Who? Hero?
Even she, Leonardo's hero, your hero, every man's hero.
Loyal.
The word is too good to paint out her wickedness. I could say she were worse. Think you a worse title, and I will fit her to it. Wonder not till further warrant. Go but with me. Tonight you shall see her chamber window, entered even the night before her wedding day.
Oh.
Love her then, tomorrow wed her. But if you would better fit your honor to change your mind.
May this be so.
I will not think it.
If you dare not trust that you see, confess not that you know. If you will follow me, I will show you enough. And when you have seen more and heard more, proceed accordingly.
If I see anything tonight why I should not marry her tomorrow in the congregation where I should wed, there will I shame her.
And as I wooed for thee to obtain her, I will join with thee to disgrace her.
I will disparage her no further till you are my witnesses. Bear it coldly, but till midnight, and let the issue show itself.
Oh, a day untowardly turned.
Mischief strangely thwarting.
Oh, plague right well prevented. So will you say when you have seen the sequel.
Later that night, in Act 3, Scene 3, we move to a churchyard near Leonato's place, where we find Dogberry the constable, as well as his trusted right-hand man, Burgess, addressing members of the Night Watch. In a word, these men can be described only as competent.
Are you good men and true?
Yea, or else it were a pity that they should suffer salvation, body and soul.
Nay, that were a punishment too good for them, if they should have any allegiance in them, being chosen for the prince's watch.
Well, give them their charges, neighbor Dogberry.
First, who think you the most desertless man for the constable?
Hugh Oakcake, sir, or George Seacole, for they can write and read.
Come hither, neighbor Seacole. God hath blessed you with a good name. To be a well-favored man is the gift of fortune, but to write and read comes by nature.
Both which, Master Constable, I do with
You have! I knew it would be your answer. Well, for your favor, so I give God thanks, and make no boast of it. And for your writing and reading, let that appear when there is no need for such vanity. You are thought here to be the most senseless and fit man for the constable of the watch. Therefore, bear you the lamp. This is your charge. You shall comprehend all vagrant men. You are to bid any man stand before the prince's name.
How if he will not stand?
Why then take no note of him and let him go. Presently call the rest of the watch together, and thank God you are rid of a knave.
If he will not stand when he is bidden, he is none of the prince's subjects.
True, and they ought to meddle with none but the prince's subjects. So, you shall also make no noise in the streets, for the watch to babble and talk is most tolerable and not to be endured.
We will rather sleep than talk. We know what belongs to a good watch.
Why, you speak like an ancient and most quiet watchman, for I cannot see how sleeping should offend. But have a care that your bills be not stolen. Well, you ought to call at all the alehouses and bid those that are drunk get thee to bed.
How if they will not?
Why, then let them alone till they are sober. If they make you not the better answer, you may say they are not the men you took them for.
Well, sir.
If you meet a thief, you may suspect him by your office to be no true man. And for such kind of men, the less you meddle with them, why, the more is for your honesty.
If we know him to be a thief, shall we not lay hands on him?
Truly, by your office you may, but I think they that touch pitch will be defiled. The most peaceable way for you, if you do take a thief, is to let him show himself what he is and steal out of your company.
You have always been called a merciful man, partner.
Truly, I would not hang a dog by my will, much more a man who hath any honesty in him.
If you hear a child cry in the night, you must call the nurse and bid her still it.
How if the nurse be asleep and will not hear us?
Why then, depart in peace, and let the child wake her with crying. For the ewe that will not hear her lamb when it baws will never answer a calf when it bleats.
'Tis very true.
This is the end of the charge. You, constable, are to present the prince's own person. If you meet the prince in the night, you may stay him.
Nay, my lady, I think I cannot.
5 shillings to 1 on it with any man that knows the statutes. He may stay him. Marry, not without the prince be willing, for indeed, for the watch ought to offend no man, and it is an offense to stay a man against his will.
By your lady, I think it be so.
Well, masters, good night, And there be any matter of weight chances, call up me. Keep your fellows' counsels and your own. Good night.
Well, masters, we hear our charge. Let us go sit here on this convenient church bench till 2, and then all off to bed separately.
Oh, one more word, honest neighbors. I pray you watch about Senor Leonardo's door. For the wedding being there tomorrow, there is a great coil tonight. Be vigilant, I beseech you. Adieu, neighbor. Watch Conrad!
Peace, stir not.
Conrad, I say.
I am at your elbow.
Oh, massa, my elbow itched. I thought there would be a scab follow.
I will owe thee an answer for that. And now forward with my tale.
Oh, stand thee close under this penthouse for drizzle's rain. And I will, like a true drunkard, utter all to thee.
Some treason, masters, yet stand close.
Therefore, know I have earned of Don John 1,000 ducats.
Is it possible any villainy could be so dear?
Well, thou should rather ask if it were possible any villainy should be so rich. For when rich villains have need of poor ones may make what price they will.
I wonder at it.
That shows thou art unconfirmed. Thou knowest that the fashion of a doublet or a hat or a cloak is nothing to a man.
Yes, it is apparel.
I mean a fashion.
Yes, the fashion is the fashion.
I might as well say the fool's the fool. But seest thou not what a deformed thief this fashion is?
I know that deformed. He's been a vile thief this 7 years. He goes up and down like a gentleman. I remember his name.
They're not here, somebody.
No, it's what's the date on the house?
Seest thou not, I say, what a deformed thief this fashion is, how giddily turns about all the hot bloods between 14 and 5 and 30.
All this I see, but art not thou myself giddy with thy passion that thou hast shifted out of thy tale into telling me of the passion?
Not so, neither. But know that I have tonight wooed Margaret, the Lady Hero's gentlewoman, by the name of Hero. She leans me out at her mistress's chamber window, bids me 1,000 times good night. Oh, I tell this tale vilely. I should first tell thee how the prince Claudio and my master, planted and placed and possessed by my master Don John, saw afar off in the orchard this amiable encounter.
And thought they Margaret was Hero.
2 of them did, Prince and Claudio, but the devil, my master, knew she was Margaret, and partly by his oaths, which first possessed them, but chiefly by my villainy, which did confirm any slander that Don John had made. Away went Claudio, enraged, swore he would meet her, as he was appointed next morning at the temple, and there, before the whole congregation, with what he saw or not, and send her home again without a husband.
We charge you in the prince's name, stand.
Call up the right master constable. We have recovered the most dangerous piece of lechery that is ever known in the Commonwealth.
Masters.
Oh, never speak, we charge you. Let us obey you to go with us.
We are likely to prove a goodly commodity being taken up by these men's bills.
A commodity in question, I warrant you. Come, we'll obey.
The criminals have successfully been apprehended, but the plot already has been executed against Don Pedro and Claudio. Will they be informed in time? Will the wedding go through as planned? Will Benedict and Beatrice wind up together? You'll be finding out after we take our 10-minute intermission. So, in about 3:30 Central Standard Time, when the minute hand is pointing down at the 6, at the 30, we will resume the second half of Much Ado. Thank you all so much. Now might be a great time to grab yourself a drink, maybe make yourself some popcorn, use the restroom, not all at once. Additionally, it might also be a good time, if you are able to maybe visit our PayPal link if that appeases you. And again, this is a free show. If you don't want to, totally fine. If you cannot do it, we totally understand. Times are tough. The best way is on the Facebook event, there is a post that shows the link. Also on the top of our theater's Facebook page, under the icon Shop Now, that'll take you right there. We will resume in 10 minutes time. Thank you so much. See you soon. Hello, it's your friendly neighborhood narrator / director, just checking in to let everyone know that we will resume the show in about 6 minutes time at 3:30 Central Standard Time, 4:30 Eastern, and 1:30 Pacific. Thank you all so much. We'll resume very soon. Thank you. All right, ladies, gentlemen, those who identify in any other fashion, we are about to start part 2, so please grab your seats if you can. And now, the second half of Much Ado About Nothing, sponsored by the Kenosha Community Foundation. Narrator here again. Act 3, Scene 4, The Wedding Day. In Hero's bedchamber, we find Hero, along with her 2 bridesmaids, Ursula and Margaret, getting ready for the big day.
Good Ursula, wake my cousin Beatrice and desire her to rise.
I will, lady.
And bid her come hither.
Wow.
Troth, I think your other rubato were better.
No, pray thee, good Meg, I'll wear this.
By my troth is not so good, and I warrant your cousin will say so.
My cousin's a fool, and thou art another. I'll wear none other but this. God give me joy to wear it, for my heart is exceeding heavy.
'Twill be heavier soon by the weight of a man.
Fie upon thee, art not ashamed.
What, lady, of speaking honorably? I think you would have me say, saving your reverence, a husband. Is there harm in the heavier for a husband? None, I think, and it be the right husband and the right wife. Otherwise, 'tis light and not heavy. As my lady Beatrice else, where she comes.
Good morrow, cuz.
Good morrow, sweet hero.
Why, how now? Do you speak in a sick tune?
I am out of all other tune, methinks. 'Tis almost 5 o'clock, cousin. 'Tis time you were ready. By my troth, I am exceedingly ill. Hey-ho!
For a hawk, a horse, or a husband.
What means a full trow?
Nothing. I but God send everyone their heart's desire.
These gloves sent me. They are an excellent perfume.
I am stuffed, cousin. I cannot smell.
A maid and stuff. There's goodly catching of a cold.
Oh, God help me. God help me. How long have you professed apprehension?
Ever since you left it, doth not my wit become me rarely?
It is not seen enough. You should wear it with your cap. By my troth, I am sick.
Oh, get you some of this distilled Cartus Benedictus and lay it to your heart is the only thing for a qualm.
Benedictus? Why Benedictus? You have some moral in this Benedictus.
Moral? No, by my troth, I have no moral meaning. I meant plain holy thistle. You may think perchance that I think that you are in love. My lady, I'm not such a fool to think what I list. No, I list not to think what I can. No, indeed, I cannot think if I would think my heart of thinking that you are in love. Yet, Benedict was such another. And now is he become a man. He swore he would never marry. And yet now, despite his heart, he eats his meat without grudging. And how you may be converted, I know not, but methinks you look with your eyes as other women do.
What pace is this that thy tongue keeps?
Not a false gallop.
Madam, withdraw. The Prince de Count, Signor Benedict, Don John, and all the gallants of the town have come to fetch you to church.
Help thee trust me, good cause, good Meg, good Ursula.
In Act 3, Scene 5, we move to the church, where we find Leonato pacing about, putting the final touches on her daughter's big day. But soon he is beset by the Constable Dogberry and his trusted right-hand man, Vergis.
What would you with me, honest neighbors?
Marry, sir, I would have some confidence with you that discerns you nearly.
Brief, I pray you, for you see it is a very busy time with me.
Marry, that it is, sir.
Yes, in truth it is, sir.
What is it, my good friend?
Goodman Vergis, sir, speaks a little off. An old man, sir, and his wits are not as blunt as God would desire they were, but in faith, honest as the skin between his brows.
Yes, I thank God I am as honest as any man living. That is an old man, and is no honester than I.
Comparisons are odorous. Palabras, neighbor Burgess.
Neighbors, you are tedious.
It pleases your worship to say so. But we are the poor Duke's officers. But truly, for mine own part, if I were as tedious as a king, I could find it in my heart to bestow all of it of your worship.
All your tediousness on me, eh?
Yeah, and 'twere £1,000 more than 'tis, for a good exclamation on your worship as of any man in the city. And though I be but a poor man, I am glad to hear of it.
And so am I.
I would fain know what you have to say.
Marry, sir, on our watch tonight, accepting your worship's presence, attain a couple of as errant knaves as any in Messina.
Good old man, sir, he will be talking. As they say, when the age is in, the wit is out. God help us, it is a world to see. Well said in faith, neighbor Burgess. Well, God's a good man. And 2 men ride of a horse, one must ride behind. An honest faith, sir, by my troth, as ever broke bread. But God is to be worshipped, all men are not alike. Alas, good neighbor.
Indeed, neighbor, he comes too short of you.
Oh, gifts that God gives.
I must leave you now.
1 moment, sir. Our watch, sir, hath indeed apprehended 2 auspicious persons, and we would have them this morning examined before your worship.
Take their examination yourself and bring it to me. I am now in great haste, as it may appear on you.
It shall be sufficient.
Drink some wine ere you go. Fare you well.
Go, good neighbor. Go, good partner. Go get to Francis Seacole and bid him bring his pen and ink on to the jail. And we are now to examination of these men.
My lord, they stay for you to give your daughter to her husband.
I am ready.
Act 4, Scene 1, the wedding. One by one, the guests file in, filling in the pews. At the front of the church, by the altar, is the friar, along with Claudio. Everybody is eagerly awaiting the arrival of the bride.
Come, Friar Francis, be brief. Only to the plain form of marriage, and you shall recount their particular duties afterwards.
You come hither, my lord, to marry this lady.
Oh.
To be married to her, Friar. You come to marry her.
Lady, you come hither to be married to this count.
I do.
If either of you know any inward impediment why you should not be conjoined, I charge you in your souls to utter it.
Know you, hero?
None, my lord.
Know you any, count?
I dare make his answer, none.
Oh, what men dare do, what men may do, what men daily do, not knowing what they do.
Oh, now, interjections. Well, let somebody of laughing is in ha ha ha.
Stand by, friar. Father, by your leave, will you, with free and unconstrained soul, give me this maid, your daughter?
As freely, son, as God did give her me.
What have I to give you back, whose worth may counterpoise this rich and precious gift?
Nothing, unless you render her again.
Sweet prince, you learn me noble thankfulness. There, Leonardo, take her back again. Give not this rotten orange to your friend. She's but the sign and semblance of her honor. Behold how like a maid she blushes here. Oh, what authority and show of truth can cunning sin cover itself withal? Comes not that blood as modest evidence to witness simple virtue? Would you not swear, all you that see her, that she were a maid by these exterior shows? But she is none.
And seem I ever otherwise to you?
Only seeming. I will write against it. You seem as Diane in her orb, as chaste as is the bud ere it be blown, but you are more intemperate in your blood than Venus, or those pampered animals that rage in savage sensuality. She knows the heat of a luxurious bed. Her blush is guiltiness, not modesty.
Is my lord well that he doth speak so wide?
Sweet prince, why speak not you?
What should I speak? I stand dishonored that have gone about to link my dear friend to a common stale.
Are these things spoken, or do I but dream?
Sir, they are spoken, and these things are true.
This looks not like a nuptial.
True? Oh, God!
Leonardo, stand I here. Is this the prince? Is this the prince's brother? Is this face heroes? Are our eye own?
All these things are so, but what of this, my lord?
Let me move but one question to your daughter, and by that fatherly and kindly power that you have in her, bid her answer truly.
I charge thee do so, as thou art my child.
Oh, God, defend me! How am I beset? What kind of catechizing call you this?
Answer truly to your name.
Is it not Hero who can blot that name with any just reproach?
Can Hero? Hero itself can blot out Hero's virtue. What man was he talked with you yesternight out at your window betwixt the hours of 12 and 1? Now, if you are a maid, answer to this.
I talked with no man at that hour, my lord.
Why then are you no maiden? Leonardo, I am sorry you must hear. Upon mine honor, myself, my brother, and this grieved count did see her, hear her, at that hour last night, talk with a ruffian at her chamber window, who hath indeed, most like a liberal villain, confessed the vile encounters they have had 1,000 times in secret.
Fie, they are not to be named, my lord, not to be spoke of. There's not chastity enough in language without offense to utter them. Thus, pretty lady, I'm sorry for thy much misgovernment.
Oh, Hero, what a hero hadst thou been if half thy outward graces had been placed about thy thoughts and counsels of thy heart. But fare thee well, most foul, most fair, farewell, thou pure impiety and impious purity. For thee I'll lock up all the gates of love, and on my eyes shall conjecture hang, turn all beauty into thoughts of harm, and never shall it be more gracious.
Hath no man's dagger here a point from me.
Why, how now, cousin? Wherefore sink you down?
Come, let us go. These things come thus to light smother her spirits up.
How doth the lady?
Dead, I think. Help, uncle. Hero. Why, Hero? Uncle, it's Signor Benedict Friar.
Oh, fate, take not away thy heavy hand. Death is the fairest cover for her shame that can be wished for.
How now, cousin Hero?
Have comfort, lady.
Dost thou look up?
Nay, wherefore should she not?
Wherefore? Why doth not every earthly thing cry shame upon her? Could she hear not deny the story that's printed in her blood? Do not live, hero. Do not ope thine eyes. For did I think thou would not quickly die, thought I, thy spirits were stronger than thy shamed myself, would it the real would of reproaches strike at thy life? Grieved I had but one, to die for that, at frugal nature's frame. One too much by thee. had I won, why wast thou lovely in mine eye? But mine, and mine I loved, and mine that I was proud on, and mine that I praised, and mine so much so that I was to myself not mine, valuing of her. She is fallen into a pit of ink, and the wide sea hath drops too few to ever wash her clean again, and salt too little to season give her foul tainted flesh.
Sir, be patient. For my part, I am so attired in wonder I know not what to say.
Oh, on my soul, my cousin is belied.
Lady, were you her bedfellow last night?
No, truly not. Although until last night, I have this 12-month been her bedfellow.
Confirmed! Confirmed! Would the two princes lie? Would Claudio lie? That loved her so that speaking of her foulness washed it with tears? Hence from her and let her die!
Hear me a little! For I've been only silent so long and given away to discourse of fortune by noting of the lady. I have marked 1,000 blushing apparitions to start into her face. 1,000 innocent shames in angel whiteness beat away those blushes. And in her eye there hath appeared a fire to burn the arrows that this princess hold against a maiden truth. Call me a fool, trust not my reading, not my observation, which with experimental seal doth warrant the tenor of my book. Trust not my age, my reverence, calling, nor divinity, if the sweet lady lie no guiltless here under some biting error.
Friar, it cannot be. Thou seest that all the grace she hath left, that she will not add to her damnation the sin of perjury.
Lady, what man is he you accused of?
They know that do accuse me. I know none. If I know more of any man alive than that which maiden modesty doth warrant, let all my sins lack mercy. Oh, my father, prove you that any man with me conversed at hours unmeet, or that I yesternight maintained the change of words with any creature. Refuse me, hate me, torture me to death.
There is some misprision in the princes.
Who of them have the very bent of honor? And if their wisdoms be misled in this, the practice of it lives in John the Bastard, whose spirits toil in frame of villainies.
If they wrong her honor, the proudest of them will well hear of it. Time hath not so dried this blood of mine, that they shall find it awake in such a kind, both strength of limb and policy of mine, to quit me of them thoroughly.
Pause a while, and let my counsel sway you in this case. Your daughter here the prince is left for dead. Let her while be secretly kept in, and publish it that she is dead indeed.
What should become of this? What will this do?
Marry, this well carried shall on her behalf change slander to remorse, that is some good. She dying, as it must be so maintained upon the instant she is accused, shall be lamented, pitied, and excused of every hearer. And so will it fare with Claudio, when he shall hear she died upon his words. The idea of her life shall sweetly creep into his study of imagination, into the eyes and prospects of his soul than when she lived indeed. Then shall he mourn, if ever love had interest in his liver, and wish he had not so accused her, and although he thought his accusation to be true. Let this be so, and thou now but successful fashion this event in better shape than I can lay it down in likelihood. And if it fare not well, you may conceal her, as best befits her wounded reputation, out of all eyes, minds, tongues, and injuries.
Signor Leonato, let the friar advise you, and though you know my inwardness and love is very much unto the prince and Claudio, yet by mine honor I will deal in this as secretly and justly as your soul should with your body.
Being that I flow in grief, the smallest twine may lead me.
It is well consented. Presently away, for strange sores strangely they strain the cure. Come, lady, die to live. This wedding day perhaps is but prolonged. Have patience and endure.
Lady Beatrice, have you wept all this while?
Yea, and I will weep a while longer.
I will not desire that.
You have no reason, I do it freely.
Surely I do believe your fair cousin is wronged.
How much might the man deserve of me that would right her?
Is there any way to show such friendship?
A very even way, but no such friend.
May a man do it?
It is a man's office, but not yours.
I do love nothing in this world so well as you. It's not that strange.
That strange is the thing I know not. It were as possible for me to say I love nothing so well as you. But believe me not, and yet I lie not. I confess nothing, nor I deny nothing. I am sorry for my cousin.
By my sword, Beatrice, thou lovest me.
Do not swear and eat it.
I will swear by it that you love me, and I will make him eat it that says I love not you.
Will you not eat your word?
There's no sauce that can be devised to it. I protest I love thee.
Why then, God forgive me.
What offense, sweet Beatrice?
You have stayed me in a happy hour. I was about to protest I loved you.
Then do it with all thy heart.
I love you with so much of my heart that none is left to protest.
Come, bid me do anything for thee.
Kill Claudio.
Not for the wide world.
You kill me to deny it. Farewell.
Tarry, sweet Beatrice.
I am gone, though I am here. There is no love in you. Nay, I pray you, let me go.
Beatrice.
In faith, I will go.
We'll be friends first.
You dare easier be friends with me than fight with mine enemy.
Is Claudio thine enemy?
Is not approved in the height a villain? That hath slandered, scorned, and dishonored my kinswoman? Oh, that I were a man! What, bear in hand until they come to take hands, and then with public accusation uncover slander, unmitigated rancor? Oh, God, that I were a man! I would eat his heart in the marketplace!
Hear me, Beatrice.
Talk with a man out at a window. God, a proper saying.
Nay, but Beatrice.
Great hero. She is wrong. She is slandered. She is undone.
Beatrice.
Princes and counties. Surely a princely testimony. A goodly count. Count Comfort. A sweet gallant, surely. Oh, that I were a man for his sake. But manhood is melted into curtsies, valor into compliment, and men are only turned into tongue, and trim ones too. He is now as valiant as Hercules that only tells a lie and swears it. I cannot be a man with wishing, therefore I will die a woman with grieving.
Tarry, good Beatrice. By this hand I love thee.
Use it for my love some other way than by swearing by it.
Think you in your soul that Count Claudio hath wronged Hero?
Yea, as sure as I have a thought or a soul.
Enough. I am engaged. I will challenge him. I will kiss your hand, and so leave you. By this hand, Claudio shall render me a dear account. As you think of me, so hear from me. Go, comfort your cousin. I must say she is dead, and so fare you well.
Shifting both tone and location in Act 4, Scene 2, we move to an interrogation room at a police station, where we find Dogberry the constable and his trusted right-hand Burgess interrogating the apprehended criminals, Baraccio and Conrad.
As the whole assembly appeared.
Oh, a stool and a cushion for the sexton.
Which be the male factors?
Marry, that am I, sir, and my partner.
Nay, that's certain. We have the exhibition to examine.
But which are the offenders that are to be examined? Let them come before, Master Constable.
Yea, Mary, let them come before me. What is your name, friend? Baraccio. Pray write down Baraccio. And yours, sirrah?
I am a gentleman, sir, and my name is Conrad.
Write down Master Gentleman Conrad. Masters, do you serve God?
Yes, sir.
We hope. Aha! Write down that they hope they serve God. And write God first, for God defend, but God should go before such villains. Masters, it is proved that you are a little better than false knaves. And it will go near to be thought so shortly. How answer you for yourselves?
Marry, sir, we say we are none.
Oh, a marvelous, witty fellow, I assure you, but I will go about with him. Come you hither, sirrah. Yeah, you, come here. A word in your ear, sir. Say to you, it is thought you are false knaves. And I say to you, we are none. Well, stand aside. For God, they both are in a tale. Did you write down that they are none?
Master Constable, you go not the way to examine. You must call forth the watch that are their accusers.
Yea, marry, that is the effest way. Let the watch come forth. Masters, I charge you in the prince's name, accuse these men.
This man said, sir, that Don John, Prince's brother, was a villain.
Write down Prince John a villain. Why, this is flat perjury to call a prince's brother a villain. Master Constable, pray thee, fellow, peace. I do not like thy look, I promise thee.
What heard you him say else?
Married that he had received 1,000 ducats of Don John for accusing the lady hero wrongfully.
Flat burglary as ever was committed.
Yea, by mass that it is.
What else, fellow?
That Count Claudio did mean upon his words to disgrace Hero before the Holy Assembly and not marry her.
Oh, villain! Thou shalt be condemned into everlasting redemption for this!
What else?
This is all.
And this is more, masters, than you can deny. Prince John is this morning secretly stolen away. Hero was in this manner accused, and in the very manner refused, and upon the grief of this suddenly died. Master Constable, have these men bound and brought to Leonardo's. I will go before and show him their examination.
Let them be opinioned.
Let them be in the hands. Off, you coxcomb.
What's my wife? Where's the sexton? Let him write down the prince's officer, coxcomb. Come, bind them. Oh, thou naughty varlet.
Wait! You're an ass! You are an ass!
Dost thou not suspect my place? Huh? Dost thou not suspect my years? Oh, that he had been here to write me down an ass. Well, masters, remember that I am an ass. Though it be not written down, yet forget not that I am an ass. Oh, thou villain, thou art full of piety, as shall be proven upon thee by good witness. I am a wise fellow, and what's more, an officer, and which is more, a householder, and which is more, as pretty a piece of flesh as any in Messina. And one that knows the law go to, and a rich fellow enough go to, and one that hath had losses, and one that hath two, not one, two gowns, and a handsome enough is. Take him away! Oh, that I had been rid down an ass! Oh.
Meanwhile, back at Leonato's house in Act 5, Scene 1, we find Leonato and Ursula standing outside awaiting the arrival of the sexton. But unbeknownst to both of them, Don Pedro and Claudio are right around the corner.
You bending all that harm upon yourself. Make those that do offend you suffer too.
There thou speaks reason. Nay, I will do so. Might tell me that hero is belied, and that shall Claudio know, so shall the prince, and all of them that thus dishonor her.
Here comes the prince and Claudio hastily.
Goodeen, goodeen.
Good day to both of you.
Hear you, my lords.
We have some haste, Leonato.
Some haste, my lord. Well, fare you well, my lord. Are you so hasty now? Well, all is one.
Nay, do not quarrel with us, good old man.
If he could right himself with quarreling, some of us would lie low.
Who wrongs him?
Mary, thou dost wrong me, thou dissembler, thou. Never lay thy hand upon thy sword, I fear thee not.
Mary, to be true, my hand, I should give your age such cause of fear.
Tush, tush, man. No, Claudio, to thy head thou hast so wronged mine innocent child and me, that I am forced to lay my reverence by, and with gray hairs and bruise of many days, do challenge thee to trial of a man. I say, thou hast belied mine innocent child. Thy slanders are gone through and through her heart, and she lies buried with her ancestors in a tomb where never scandal slept save this of hers, framed by thy villainy.
My villainy.
Thine, Claudio, thine, I say to you.
You say not right, old man.
Lord, my lord, I'll prove it on his body if he dare, despite his nice fence and active practice, his may of youth. Good.
Away.
Thou so, thou hast killed my... Don't kill a man.
Win me and win me, let him answer me. Come, sir boy, follow me, sir boy. Come, sir boy, I'll whip you from a fountain fence, and as I am a woman, I will. Contain yourself. God knows, I loved Hero. She's dead. Slandered to death by villains. The death well answer man indeed, as I dare take a sermon by the tongue. Boys, apes, braggarts, jacks, milksops. Scambling, out-facing, fashion-monging boys that lie and cog and flout, deprave and slander. Go antically and show outward hideousness and speak of half a dozen dangerous words of how they hurt their enemies if they durst, and that is all.
But Ursula...
Now you meddle, let me deal with this.
Gentles, both. We will not wake your patience. My heart is sorry for your daughter's death, but on my honor, she was charged with nothing but what was true and very full of proof.
My lord, this is not the truth, my lord. You're not.
I will.
You know? Come, Ursula, away. I will be heard.
Shall. Some of us will smart for it.
Ah, see, here comes the man we went to seek.
Huh. Signor, what news?
Good day, my lord.
Welcome, Signor. You are almost come to part almost a fray.
We had like to have had our two noses snapped off with an elder with our teeth.
Leonato and his second. What thinkst thou? Had we fought, I doubt we should have been too young for them.
In a false quarrel, there is no true valor. I came to seek you both.
We have been up and down to seek thee, for we are high proof melancholy, and would fain to have it beaten away. Wilt thou use thy wit?
It is in my scabbard. Shall I draw?
Dost thou wear thy wit by thy side?
Never any did so, though very many have been beside their wit. I do as we do the minstrels draw to please us.
As I am an honest man, he looks pale. Art thou sick or angry?
He knows how to turn his girdle.
Shall I speak a word in your ear?
God bless you, Alan.
You are a villain. I jest not. I will make it good how you dare, with what you dare, and when you dare. Do me right, or I will protest your cowardice. You have killed a sweet lady, and her death shall fall heavy on you. Let me hear from you.
Well, I will meet you, so I may have good cheer.
What? A feast? A feast.
I thank him. He hath bid me to a calf's head and a capon, the which, if I do not carve most curiously, say my knife's naught. Shall not I find a woodcock too?
Sir, your wit ambles well. It goes easily.
Oh, I'll tell thee how Beatrice praised thy wit the other day. I said, thou hadst a fine wit. True, said she, a fine little one. No, said I, a great wit he hath the tongues. That I believe, said she, for he swore a thing to me on Monday night, which he forswore on Tuesday morning. Thus did she an hour together transshape thy particular virtues. Yet, at last, she concluded with a sigh, thou wast the properest man in Italy.
Forthwith she wept heartily and said she cared not. And moreover, God saw him when he was hid in the garden.
But when shall we set the savage bull's horns on the sensible Benedict's head?
Nay, and here the merry.
Very well. Boy, you know my mind. I leave you to your gossip-like humor. You break jests as braggarts do their blades, which, God be thanked, hurt not. My lord, for your many courtesies, I thank you. I must discontinue your company. Your brother the bastard is fled from Messina. You have among you killed a sweet and innocent lady. For my lord Blackbeard there, he and I shall meet. Till then, peace be with him.
But he is in earnest.
Profound earnest. And I'll warrant you for the love of Beatrice.
And hath challenged thee?
Sincerely.
Pluck up my heart and be sad. Did he not say my brother was fled?
Sir, justice cannot tame you. She shall ne'er weigh more reasons in her balance. Nay, and you be cursing hypocrite once, you must be looked to.
How now? 2 of my brother's men bound. Borachio one.
Hearken after their offense, my lord.
Officers, what offense have these men done?
Marry, sir, they have committed false report. Moreover, they have spoken untruths. Secondarily, they are slanders. And sixth and lastly, they have belied a lady. Thirdly, they have verified unjust things. And to conclude, they are lying knaves.
First, I ask thee what they have done. Thirdly, I ask thee what's their offense. Sixth and lastly, why they are committed, and to conclude what you lay to their charge.
And in his own division, and by my troth, that's one meaning well suited.
Who have you offended, masters, that you are thus bound to your answer? This learned constable is too cunning to be understood. What's your offense?
Prince, let me go no further to mine answer. Do you hear me? And let this count kill me. I have deceived even your very eyes. What your wisdoms could not discover, these shallow fools have brought to light, who in the night overheard me confessing to this man how Don John, your brother, incensed me to slander the lady hero. How you were brought into the orchard and saw me court Margaret in hero's garments. How you disgraced her when you should marry her. My villainy they have upon record, which I had rather seal with my death than repeat over to my shame. The lady is dead upon mine and my master's false accusations. And briefly, I desire nothing but reward of a villain.
Runs not this speech like iron through your blood?
I have drunk poison whilst he uttered it.
But did my brother set thee on to this?
Yea, and paid me richly for the practice of it.
He is composed and framed of treachery, and fled he is upon this villainy.
Sweet. Now thy image doth appear in the rare semblance that I loved it first.
Come, bring away the plaintiffs. By this time our sexton hath reformed Signor Leonardo of the matter. And masters, do not forget to specify when time and place shall serve that I am an ass.
Here comes Mr. Leonardo and the sexton too.
Which is the villain? Let me see his eyes, that when I note another man like him, I may avoid him. Which of these is he?
If you would know your wronger, look on me.
Art thou the slave that with thy breath hath killed mine innocent child?
Yea, even I alone.
Oh, no, not so, villain. Thou beliest thyself. Here stand a pair of honorable men. A third is fled that had a hand in it. I thank you, princes, for my daughter's death. Recorded with your high and worthy deeds, 'tis bravely done, if you bethink you of it.
I know not how to pray your patience, yet I must speak. Choose your revenge yourself, impose me to what penance your invention can lay upon my sin, yet sinned I not but in mistaking.
By my soul, nor I. And yet to satisfy this good old man, I would bend under any heavy weight that he'll enjoin me to.
I cannot bid you bid my live. That were impossible. But I pray you both, possess the people in Messina hear how innocent she died. And if your love can labor aught in sad invention, hang her an epitaph upon her tomb. Tomorrow morning, come you to my house. Could not be my son-in-law, be yet my nephew. My brother hath a daughter almost the copy of my child that's dead. Give her the right you should have given her cousin, and so dies my revenge.
Noble sir, your overkindness doth wring tears from me. I do embrace your offer and dispose for henceforth of poor Claudio.
Tomorrow, then, I will expect your coming. But now I take my leave.
Oh, sir, which indeed is not under black and white. This plaintiff here, the offender, did call me ass. So I beseech you, let it be remembered in his punishments, and pray you examine him on that point.
I thank thee for thy care and honest pains.
Your worship speaks like a most thankful and reverent youth, and I praise God for you.
He is for your pains.
Oh, God save the foundation!
Much Ado About Nothing is sponsored by the Kenosha Community Foundation. All rights reserved. Results may vary.
Go. I discharge thee of thy prisoner, and I thank thee. Go.
I leave thee an arrant knave for your worship, which I beseech your worship to correct yourself for the example of others. Keep, God, keep your worship. I wish your worship well. God restore you to health. I humbly give you leave to depart. And if a merry meeting may be wished, God prohibit it. Come
Until tomorrow morning, lords, farewell.
We will not fail.
Night. I'll mourn with Hero.
With Hero's innocence at last proven, we move indoors in Act 5, Scene 2, and find Benedict along with Margaret. Benedict attempting to write a love ballad for his beloved Beatrice.
Pray thee, sweet mistress Margaret, deserve well in my hands by helping me to the speech of Beatrice.
Will you then write me a sonnet in praise of my beauty?
Oh, in so high a style, Margaret, that no man living shall come over it. For in most comely truth thou deservest it.
To have no man come over me, why shall I always keep below stairs?
Thy wit is as quick as the greyhound's mouth, it catches.
And yours is blunt as the fencer's foils, which hit but hurt not.
Oh, and so I pray thee, call Beatrice. I give thee the bucklers.
Give us the swords, we have bucklers of our own.
Ooh, if you use them, Margaret, you have to put in the pikes with the vices, and those are dangerous weapons for maids.
Well, I will call Beatrice to you, who I think hath legs.
And therefore will come. The God of love that sits above and knows me how beautiful I deserve. Mary, I cannot show it in rhyme. I have tried. I can find out no rhyme to lady but baby. An innocent rhyme. Scorn, horn, hard rhyme. School, fool, babbling rhyme. Very ominous end. No, I was not born under a rhyming planet, nor I cannot woo in festival terms. Sweet Beatrice, dost thou come when I called thee?
Yea, Signor, and depart when you bid me.
Oh, save it till then.
Then is spoken. Fare you well now, and yet ere I go. Oh, but let me go with what I came for, which is with knowing what hath passed between you and Claudio.
Only foul words, and thereupon I will kiss thee.
Foul words is but foul wind, and foul wind is but foul breath, and foul breath is noisome. Therefore I will depart unkissed. Bye.
Thou hast fright the word out of his right sense, so forcible is thy wit. But I must tell thee plainly, Claudio undergoes my challenge, and either I must shortly hear from him, or I will subscribe him a coward. Now, I pray thee, for which of my bad parts did thou first fall in love with me?
For them altogether, which maintain so politic a state of evil that they will not admit any good part to intermingle with them. But for which of my good parts did thou suffer love for me?
Suffer love, good epithet. Do suffer love indeed, for I love thee against my will.
In spite of your heart, I think. Alas, poor heart. If you spite it for my sake, I will spite it for yours. For I will never love that which my friend hates.
Thou and I are too wise to woo peaceably.
It appears not in this confession. There's not one wise man among 20 that will praise himself.
An old instance, Beatrice, that lived in the time of good neighbors. If a man did not erect in his own age his own tomb ere he dies, then he will live no longer in monument than the bell tolls and the widow weeps.
And how long is that, think you?
Question, why? An hour in clamor and a quarter in room. So much for praising myself, who I myself can bear witness is praiseworthy. And how doth your cousin?
Very ill.
And how do you?
Very ill too.
Serve God, love me, and mend.
Madam!
And now I will leave you because here comes one in haste.
You must come to your uncle. Yonder is earth curled at home. It has been proved my lady Hero hath been falsely accused. The prince and Claudio might be abused, and John, who's the author of it all, has fled and gone. Will you come presently?
Will you go hear this news? Signor?
Will live in my heart, die in thy lap, and be buried in thine eyes. And moreover, I will go with thee to thy uncle's.
The next morning, before the crack of dawn, in Act 5, Scene 3, we move to the churchyard, the tomb of Leonato's family, where we find Claudio standing before the grave of Hero, bearing a scroll. Don Pedro stands nearby, silently observing, and unbeknownst to both of them, Hero and Beatrice observe them.
Done to death by slanderous tongues was the hero that here lies. Death in Gordon of her wrongs gives her fame which never dies, so the life that died with shame lives in death with glorious fame. Hang that there upon the tomb, praising her when I am dumb. Now unto thy bones, good night. Yearly will I do this right.
Look, the gentle day, before the wheels of Phoebus round about dapples the drowsy east with spots of grey. Come, let us hence and put on other weeds, and then to Leonato's we will go.
Act 5, Scene 4, the real wedding day. Leonato, as well as Margaret, Benedict, Friar, Hero, and Beatrice stand outside awaiting the arrival of Don Pedro and Claudio.
Did I not tell you she was innocent?
So are the prince and Claudio, who accused her, upon the error that you had debated. But Margaret was in some fault for this, although against her will, as it appears in the true course of all the question.
Well, I'm glad that all things sort so well.
So am I, being else by faith and forced to call young Claudio to a reckoning for it.
Well, daughter, and you gentlewomen all, withdraw into a chamber by yourselves, and when I send for you, come hither masked. The prince and Claudio promised by this hour to visit me. You know your office, friar.
Friar, I must entreat your pains, I think.
To do what, senor?
To bind me or undo me, one of them.
Huh.
Signor Leonato, truth it is, good signor, that your niece regards me with an eye of favor.
That I my daughter lent her? 'Tis most true.
And I do with an eye of love requite her.
The sight whereof I think you had from me, from Claudio and the prince, but what's your will?
Your answer, sir, is enigmatical. But my will is your goodwill may stand with ours this day to be conjoined in the estate of honorable marriage, in which, good friar, I shall desire your help.
Oh, my heart is with your liking.
And my help. Here comes the prince and Claudio.
Good morrow to this fair assembly.
Good morrow, prince. Good morrow, Claudio. We here attend you. Are you yet determined today to marry with my brother's daughter?
I'll hold my mind, no matter the outcome.
Call them forth. Here's the friar ready.
Good morrow, Benedict. Why, what's the matter that you have such a February face, so full of frost, of storm, and cloudiness?
I think he thinks upon the savage bull.
Ah.
You're not, man, will tip thy horn to the bull.
And some such strange bull leapt your father's cow, and got a calf in that same noble feat, much like to you, for you have just his bleat.
Oh.
Here comes other reckoning. Which is the lady I must seize upon?
This same is she, and I do give her you.
Why, then she's mine. Sweet, let me see your face.
No, that you shall not take her hand before this friar, and swear to marry her.
Give me your hand before this holy friar. I am your husband, if you like of me.
And when I lived, I was your other wife. And when you loved, you were my other husband.
Another hero.
Nothing certainer. One hero died defiled, but I do live. And surely as I live, I am a maid.
The former hero. Hero that is dead.
She died, my lord, but whilst her slanders lived.
All this amazement can I qualify when after the holy rites are ended, I'll tell you largely of fair heroes that. Meantime, let one door seem familiar and let us to the chapel presently.
Soft and fair, friar. Which is Beatrice?
I answer to that name. What is your will?
Do not you love me?
Why, no more than reason.
Oh, why then your uncle, the prince and Claudio, hath been deceived. They swore you did.
Do not you love me?
Troth, no. Reason?
Why, then my cousin Margaret and Ursula are much deceived, for they did swear that you did.
They swore you were almost sick for me.
They swore you were well nigh dead for me.
There's no such matter. Then you do not love me.
No, truly, but in friendly recompense.
Oh.
Come, cousin, I'm sure you love the gentleman.
And I'll be sworn upon that he loves her, for here's a paper written in his hand, a halting
And here's another, writ in my cousin's hand, stolen from her pocket, containing her affection unto Benedict.
Oh, truly, Beatrice and Benedict caught between the sheets.
Oh, a miracle! Here's our own hands against our hearts. Come, I will have thee, but by this light I take thee for pity.
Oh.
I would not deny you, but by this good day I yield upon great persuasion, and partly life, for I was told you were in a consumption.
Peace, I will stop your mouth.
Oh.
How dost thou, Benedict, the married man?
Come. We are friends. Let's have a dance, and we are married, so we may let our own hearts and our wives' heels.
No. We will have dancing afterward.
First of my word. Therefore, play music. Prince. Thou art sad. Oh, sad. Get thee a wife. Get thee a wife.
My lord, your brother John stayed flight and brought with our men back to Messina.
Think not on him till tomorrow. I will devise thee brave punishments for him. Strike up, pipers!
Ladies, gentlemen, etc., the cast of Much Ado About Nothing, the Globe cast. Introducing Parker Cross as Leonato and George C. Cole, Gary Lamb as Don Pedro and Hugh Oakcake, Gloria Huang as Hero, turning my page, Fiona Rose Dyer as Claudio, Reese Presley as Benedict, Kayla Ryan Walsh as Beatrice, Cecilia Veras as Ursula Fryer and the Messenger, Lily Thomas as Don John, Margaret and the Sexton, and Madeline Brennan as Maracchio and Dogberry, and last but not least, Aaron Smith as Conrad and Vergis. Oh yeah, and I'm Alex Metalsky. I'm your narrator, but who cares about that? And the director. Yeah, but man. Anyway, thank you all so very, very much for joining us. This was Much Ado About Nothing, as performed by the Fleeing Artist Theater in 2020. You know the year. If you liked what you saw, I'd like to invite all of you to follow our Facebook page just so you can keep up with our future shows. We'll be performing The Winter's Tale, a pastoral romance, at the end of July and early August. We'll also be doing our very first August Strindberg play called Creditors. It's a one-act drama with a surprising ending. So I recommend you giving us a follow if you want to keep up. We also have 2 unannounced productions. We can't give the titles out yet just because we haven't secured the licensing rights yet, but they are plays written by African-American playwrights and African playwrights in order to raise donations for the Black Lives Matter movement, because we cannot achieve true equality until there is equity. We need to dismantle systemic racism in this country once and for all, and this is the way to do it. This is one step to do it, and this is how our theater is going to go about doing that. And thank you all. Most important of all, thank you, audience, for tuning in, whether it's through the webinar or through Facebook. We could not do what we love doing without your support, be it viewership, be it audience, be it as an audience member, be it through donations. It's amazing just the love of theater that there is, thanks to all of you. So that's all I've got for now. Thank you all so much. You audience members are free to go. Us actors are gonna hang around a little bit and just talk with each other, because we've been working together for 2.5 weeks, and many of us are on different parts of the country and even the world, in Brazil, Canada, East Coast US, West Coast US, and we're gonna drink until I have to leave. See ya, audience members. I never know how to end these things. Let's see. Oh, and you're still watching this. Oh, you're watching me flub. Good. Keep it up. Watch me flounder. Anyway, I'm gonna stop talking to the audience. Actors. Amazing! Good work! You did it!
Yay! We did it! Should get the drinks now.
Yeah,
I
let's
have
get
water.
the drink now. Yes, everybody get a drink. Pour themselves a drink.
I'm gonna get the drink. 1 second.
I'm gonna get rid of my beer.
I'm ahead of you all.
Those who are still around and commenting, thank you so much. But I promise you, it's going to be very boring. You should leave.
Muito obrigada.
Oh, goodness. Oh, somebody raised their hand.
I don't know why my mom raised her hand. Oh, no.
Just found out I didn't unmute. Sorry.
Oh, wow.
That was my father bringing the drink.
Oh.
I was thanking him for that.
Wonderful.
Great job, guys.
Anybody else in their pajamas?
Yes.
Pajamas.
No. But I should have been. Change, and I'm not going to change. Too much trouble. There's still people in the chat.
People in chat, yeah. Okay, well, step 1, I'm going to stop this Facebook thing and stop the recording so that there's no evidence of us having.
Oops.
Anyway, no, we're all over here just in case this gets seized or whatever. Just because I have to end the recording. This was Much Ado About Nothing, performed on Saturday, June 27th at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. This was the Globe cast, and this has been Summer Shakespeare Year 7's inaugural production. We have Winter's Tale coming on later on. Show directed and adapted by Alex Metalsky, and everyone you see is the cast, because I'm not listing it again. Thank you. Anyone want to say anything before I hit stop record?
Love you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And that's Parker as a baby or Parker's baby?
It's Serafina Cordelia.
That's his
Ah.
baby.
Show her this. And
Great name.
that'll be her graduation.
Cordelia, the good child.
All right, stopping recording now. Now.